What's up, Yonkers? It's your host, Anderson. Welcome to City Talk, episode number 5. We have a pretty interesting topic tonight, a very much requested topic that we have started since before City Talk. We started this topic a year ago based on some complaints and people coming to us and whatnot. So, anyways, today we have a topic of Empress and their 30-minute response times and who is Empire Strategic Planning. So we're going to start off with this little presentation I've started for this. So Empress prioritizes interfacility transfers over 911 emergencies in Yonkers. And what I mean by that is that Empress has contracts with nursing homes and hospitals where they transfer patients. So while they transfer those patients, they get paid for that. Now, if they're not getting paid for that, they're not going to go do that. So give me one sec. Hospitals where they all right. So the way that they do it is that they have certain amount of units out there according to staffing, and they send these units out to do these interfacility transfers. They can vary from the Bronx all the way to Staten Island to the Bronx. It doesn't always have to be in Yonkers because they are a private organization now. Is allowed to operate anywhere that they want. Empress does not fulfill contract agreement in dedicating ambulances to the city. They are required to have a certain amount of ambulances at a time in the city, and it's obvious that they do not because of the response times. The number is uncertain. I've never gotten the number. The number doesn't really matter to me of how many units are supposed to be dedicated to the city, and the reason for that is that there should be no delayed response times for any other reason. The city of Yonkers does not pay Empress EMS for its services. And what I mean by that is that under their contract, the city doesn't pay Empress. How Empress makes their money is off your insurance. If you get hurt in a car accident or you trip and fall or anything that requires you to be transported by Empress EMS in the city of Yonkers, you have insurance, they bill your insurance. Now, if you don't have insurance, that's where we talk about why they're picking interfacility transfers over 911 calls in Yonkers, because with interfacility transfers, they get paid. With going to a 911 emergency in Yonkers, it's a 50-50. You might be pulling up to a patient who doesn't have insurance, and there goes free service, pretty much. So Empress diverts ambulances to interfacility transfers off of 911 calls. Now, this is not something I've heard from someone else. This is not something that I just made up. This is something I've heard and seen with my own eyes. Before we stopped going to all the scenes and recording live, we had to listen to the police radio, fire radio, EMS radio in order to know what was going on and to know where we were going. So in those times where we were listening to the radios, we would hear Empress diverting units off of 911 emergencies to interfacility transfers. And how I know that was going down was because there's no emergency at no hospital where the hospital can't handle. So the ambulance is going to the hospital to do a transfer. They tell you it's all over the radio. They're probably going to stop doing that after today. Fire and police units are held up for long periods of time, preventing them to respond to other calls, sometimes higher priority calls. I'm about to show you that. I'm going to skip number 6. We're going to go to this. All right. So this was a presentation I was going to post on the page, but I decided not to. So right here, the blue dot is Empress, that's it states, and the red dot is the fire department. So Empress and the fire department were both dispatched. Empress was dispatched at 9:28 a.m., right? And in the blue dot, there are AC1. Dispatch on the first arrow is 9:28 a.m. arrived at 10:01 a.m. That's a 34-minute response time for an ambulance. Um, what's the excuse for that? The excuse, who knows? This was a medical emergency. This was a priority call, and you call 911. Any call to 911 is priority, right? I would think so. So you would treat that as is and make sure that those units that you're supposed to have in the city are freed up and not doing interfacility transfers, making you your money instead of doing what you're supposed to do. If you don't want to do 911 emergencies, get out of there. Go somewhere else and do that. Stop risking the lives of residents in the city of Yonkers. That's unacceptable. 34 minutes. Imagine you get shot in the city of Yonkers and you're going to wait 34 minutes for an ambulance. You'll probably bleed out by then. Forget about that. That's why. And St. Joseph's is very popular for walk-ins. People just want to walk themselves or take the cab or a personal vehicle to the hospital because they don't want to wait for the ambulance. They already know what's up. So, and the sad part is St. Joseph's is not fit for that. None of the hospitals in Yonkers are fit for any traumatic injury. So anyways, going on to the next one is going to be, it's going to take a little while.